Hi, everyone. We are here live for this interview in our series for the Simple Sales Bundle. For those who don't know me, hi, I am Steph Blake. I am the host of the Simple Sales Bundle, which, for those who don't know what I'm even talking about with this bundle, it is a collection of more than 50 resources that help you make more money. And as business owners, we need to be making money every single day. So this bundle of resources was literally created for that purpose, all about making sales and making more money and simplifying the process as well. And today, for this interview, I'm going to be talking with Adrienne Farrow, and we're going to talk about how Google can help make more money, how you can make more sales with Google, and not in the way that you are probably thinking either, which I think is just so fun. So, Adrienne, do you want to just introduce yourself really quickly? And then also, do you want to share the product that you contributed to the Simple Sales Bundle?
Yeah, definitely. Hi, everyone. My name is Adrienne Farrow, and I like to refer to myself as your Google BFF. I love to save you time using Google tools. So that's my main goal, is to help solopreneurs, online business owners, anyone who uses Google tools for their business, learn those like tips, tricks, hacks, create systems within Google, because it's so good to help us as business owners in our back end to just streamline and simplify so that we can spend time focusing on what makes us money. Because if everything else is working so great, then we can do what brings in that revenue. And what I contributed is one of my all-time favorite products. It is called the Go-To Dashboard. All of my products are Go-To in some form or another, because Go-To stands for Google Tools. And I actually
I
created,
didn't know that. I
yeah,
just had to interrupt you.
yeah.
This is all making so much more sense. That's fun.
Yes, yes. So because it's not only your go-to thing, but can't really market it as a Google Tools thing. So we're going with go-to. So it actually I created this for myself because I needed to streamline and simplify my business in order to free up time to do revenue generating activities. So it is one Google Sheet that is a hub for your business. So it is a place where you can go and put in links to those Google Docs or Google Sheets or any other Google things that you access frequently, so you don't have to go searching through your drive. It's just right there on that dashboard. You can keep track of marketing data, your branding information, all of your offers, put links to those offers. So then all you have to do is just go grab the links from the Go-To dashboard. The courses that you're part of, the affiliates that you are affiliate marketing for. It is just one place just to go and grab that information that you need quickly. So then that frees up time, because all of those little clicks that we use, like all of the times we go and search for that information, if you add that up, that can be a lot of time that you could be using to then make money for your business. So that's what I contributed.
Yeah, I love that. And again, the biggest thing here when we're talking about sales, right? That's what this whole bundle is about. And one thing that people really don't think about when it comes to sales is time and the amount of time they're spending doing so many other things. And if they were to just use their time a little bit more wisely, even saving 10 minutes a day by not
Mhm.
clicking to find different resources, they could use that 10 minutes to, for example, hop on a sales call and book a new
Mhm.
client,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So I really love that, first of all, that you created this. I think that's so great and it's going to help so many people. But also, I love this conversation because it's forcing people to think about sales a little bit differently
Mhm.
than
Mhm.
they're used to. Instead of thinking like, I will only make sales if I don't know, have a conversation with somebody. Like, yes, obviously that's true. But you can also make sales by being more productive and more organized, right?
110%.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just so everybody knows, this dashboard is normally $59 on its own. When you grab this whole bundle of resources, you get the entire bundle, 50 plus products for only $7, right? So it's
Good
like
deal.
a yeah. And on top of that, all of the resources are valued at more than $3,500 when you like bundle them all together, right? So even if you guys don't want anything else in this bundle of resources, like there's a lot of really great, incredible things you want, all of them. But even if you don't want anything else, everybody needs to be organized.
Mhm.
Everybody needs to be organized. Everybody needs to make sure that they're using their time wisely. And this dashboard, I said that really weird. This dashboard is the perfect use case for that,
Mhm.
right? So let's talk a little bit about Google in general, right?
Mm.
Because when I'm sure that a lot of people thought when I started this conversation that we were going to talk about Google Ads making you more money. That's what
No,
I would
no,
have thought.
no.
Right. So since you are the Google Pro, I want you to
Yeah.
just share a little bit more about the I mean, there's so many things that Google can do. It's like it's so
Mhm.
overwhelming if you think about all of them. But for the majority of the people listening to this, they're online business owners, right?
Yep.
Service providers, coaches, course creators, consultants, right? What are some of the most beneficial tools that people should be using in Google to save time, which will ultimately make them more money?
Yep. Well, I like to start with what I call the Google trifecta, which is Drive, Gmail, and Calendar, because I think those are the ones that we tend to use the most often as business owners. Drive houses all of our folders, Gmail allows us to communicate with others using email, and then Calendar is how we actually like keep track of what we were doing on a day-to-day basis. And if those
Mhm.
aren't systematized and optimized, if they're not working for us, then we're going to get sucked into time wasting tasks within those. So like in Google Drive, finding a system to find your files quickly that works for your brain so that you're not searching and wasting so much time. Some of the data that I found is that online business owners waste about 38 minutes a week finding files in their Google Drive. And then on top of that, like many times we can't find it. So then we recreate it. And if we recreate it, how much more time is that taking? So setting up that system, using that system on a regular basis, making sure that you're following that system will really help to save you time. And then in Gmail,
I'm gonna
oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
sorry.
pause right here
Yeah,
first. No,
go
no, no,
for
you're
it.
fine. Because one of the this is something I hear from people all the time because I'm a very organized person. I just have been my entire life. I think it has to do with my whole like the AUDHD thing, autistic
Yeah,
ADHD thing, where
yeah,
it's like I have ADHD, but I'm also not officially diagnosed, but I believe that I am autistic just based on like online tests that I've taken where
yeah.
I have to have an insane amount of organization as well or my brain will not function, right? So like that's just how I've always been and I've always just like created processes even like in my personal life, like when I worked in corporate, my business, all of that. But I know that it does not come naturally to a lot of people, especially for the more like quote unquote traditional. That's not even the right
Mhm.
way to say it, like ADHDers,
Yes,
neurodivergent
which
people
I am
who.
one. I
Okay,
have just flat out ADHD.
okay, okay. So let me ask you: is organization something that comes easily to you normally?
Yes and no. So I've always been on the outside seen as the organized person. So people will come to me and be like, wow, Adrienne, you're so organized. You find those things so quickly, or you have it already and whatnot. But internally, I've always been like this, like
Yeah.
paddling and feeling like I was keeping my head afloat. And so actually last year, I struggle with shiny object syndrome, like finding all of those new tools, like, hey, yeah, that one will do better for me, and that one will do better for me, and that one will do better for me. And then so I decided to lean into Google last year and really like push shiny object syndrome to the side and just like hone in on what Google could do for me. So I found a system that worked for my brain, which is called the Paris system. And I have a video on it on my YouTube channel. And I like forced myself to just maintain that system. And it's been hard, it's been challenging, but because I found one that worked for me, it's been easier to do. So I actually work with clients one-on-one to organize their Google Drive. So I'll actually like hop into your Google Drive and organize it for you so you don't have to do it. And I spend time with them figuring out what works for them in their brain so that they don't have to continually just like try something new all the time. Does
Mhm.
that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I when I started my business, that was one of the things that I used to do as well was organize people's Google Drives and like
Oh, really?
their
Oh,
Gmail.
that's funny.
Yeah, yeah. And just because I love it, it was just such an easy thing, you know. But
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about this because the most important thing here is to do whatever makes sense for you and
Mhm.
whatever makes sense for your brain. Because you and I can share our systems with anybody, but it may not make sense to another person,
Mhm.
right? So I especially love with this dashboard that you're sharing in the bundle. It's like it's this template, right? And
Mhm.
you can adjust it and tweak it in whatever way makes sense for you, your brain,
Mhm.
the weird things that happen in your head that only you understand,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And alongside the dashboard is 5 days of dripped content to show you how to customize it. So I actually walk you through like all of those like Google Sheet nitty-gritty, and it's not super complicated at all, but I show you, okay, if you want to change the format of this, or if you want to like, you know, add extra data here or your extra sheet, what do you do? And that has been, I've gotten some great feedback from people that that has been the most helpful part, is then that allows them to customize it and really make it work for them.
Yeah, that's and again, we're coming back to the time saving thing, right? So instead
Mhm.
of going on Google or YouTube and trying to figure out how to do this thing, you're telling them. It's like already ready to go, which is great.
100%.
Okay. So we talked about Google Drive
Yes.
and you were going to dive into the other two as well, the
Yes.
calendar and Gmail.
Yes. So Gmail, I am not an inbox zero person. I'll just put that flat out. Like some people are. I'm not an inbox, you know, 4,576, you know, whatever emails. But I like to keep it manageable to like on my unread at the top at like 2025. But I have looked and found a system using labels and filters that really helps me keep things like automated within Google. So if you're not familiar, labels are like the folders within Gmail, and they actually like label the actual email themselves, but it helps keep them organized on the side of, you know, I have my courses or I have my offers or newsletters that I follow, etc. And then I actually put filters in that will automatically then label the emails that come in and put them into those folders as needed. And some of those emails that I don't necessarily need to read right away, I might not even have them hit my inbox. I might then just have them be unread. And I have to tweak that system regularly because, you know, you're always signing up for new emails and new email, you know, uh, following new people and things like that. And so finding that system within Google really helped me out. And then another thing that I don't think a lot of online business owners know about Google is that you can actually do templates within Gmail. And so any of the emails that you write on a regular basis, like if you're doing a bundle or if you're doing a summit, or even if you're doing like client emails, create a template with a basic framework of what you're going to email. And then all you have to do is insert that template, tweak a few things, and then send it off. So
Mhm.
there's some of those little hacks that are within Gmail that can really save time.
Yeah, absolutely. I love using labels and filters. An example of a real life filter, I mean, I have a bunch of them set up, but one that I always set up when I host bundles are for the emails that come through like the purchase
Mhm.
confirmations. Because the first time I hosted a bundle, I got like 500 like
Just swarmed.
well, and that's not true. It wasn't 500. It was probably like in the first hour, I think we had like 50 sales in the first hour. And like all of these emails were just coming through and I opened my inbox and I was like, ah,
Yeah.
what just happened? So that's one of the things that's always on my like my bundle task template is to
Hmm.
set up a filter that's based off of certain words in that email, and then it's just gonna I usually just archive those, honestly,
Yeah.
because it's not things that I have to save, but that's another way to customize it, right? You can put
Hmm.
things into a folder, you can label them, you can archive them, you can just delete them all together, you can forward them to other people. So
Yep.
there's, so many different things. I
Yeah.
love it, love it.
Yeah.
We could talk about this for a while and get
Oh my
like
goodness, I could give you all the different hacks, all the different hacks, and that's what I do. And then I think the last one we were gonna talk about was calendar.
yeah.
And calendar, one of the things that I see with a lot of people is that they accidentally double book themselves, or they're trying to hook up to another calendar system like Calendly or TidyCal or something, and they have multiple calendars and it's not reading all of the different calendars. So one of the hacks that I like to say is have one calendar to rule them all. Have one that is your work and your personal and whatever else you need, and then color code on that calendar so then you can visually see like what's personal, what's work, what's I have like appointments, or like if I have something to do with my courses or whatnot. And then that way, whatever appointment scheduler you use will be easily able to read everything. And then you won't accidentally be double booked, or, it will just be very, very accurate. And then Google actually has their own appointment scheduler now that's out. So if you have a Google Workspace and pay for the mid-tier one, which is called a business standard plan, you can actually ditch Calendly and do the appointment scheduling yourself within
I
Google,
didn't
which
know
is
that.
pretty awesome.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
One thing that oh, I remember what I was gonna say along the lines of Google Calendar. So I know people use calendars differently. Some people
Mhm.
will use it for just calls, like that's how I personally prefer to use it, is just calls or like
Mhm.
meetings, appointments, things like that. Other people will just dump all of their tasks in there and they'll
Mhm.
do time blocking,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So I I'd like your perspective on that. Like what what are your thoughts on both methods?
Yeah, I think that again is how your brain works, but I think you need to think of what your ultimate end goal is because if you have something that's reading your calendar and it needs to see where your open slots are, if you only have your business stuff and you don't have like your child's doctor's appointment or your, the picking up your kids from school, it might accidentally book you in a spot that it shouldn't book you. So you have to think about like that purpose. But if you're not booking calls, it might be that you just have it all everything on there and you do that time blocking and it works for you. I love to use Google Tasks. I don't know if you're familiar with Google Tasks at all, Steph, but it's
I use ClickUp for all of my
oh, okay.
task management. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
built
haven't used it.
into Google Calendar now. So up at the
Okay.
top, there's like a little button that you can toggle. The task sign looks like a circle with a check mark in it. And it's like a very light to-do list. Like think like Todoist or something where you're just really writing down like actual to-dos. But those can then show up on your calendar. And then it will
Oh,
actually, if there's a time element to it, so if it's a specific day and time, or if it's an all-day event, it'll show up on your calendar and then you can actually click that you've completed it. So that's a way of, I use a project management system too, but I have Google Tasks on my phone and I just brain dump tasks as like they come into my head. And then if it has a very time sensitive deadline to it, then I put the time and the date that it's there, and then it'll just be that visual reminder for me on my calendar that needs to get done. It might also be in my project management system, but that since I look at my calendar like 50 times a day, it's that visual thing that I can see, oh yeah, that's right, that's something I really needed to get done today.
yeah, I did not know that about Google Tasks. That's
Mhm.
cool. So, yeah, I mean, I like the way that you explain that. Like, if you are hooking up to an external calendar booking tool, probably not the best idea to put everything in there just because, like, the the way that I see it is the more stuff that you try to shove into one place, the more stuff can break. In
Mhm.
a sense, if
Mhm.
that makes sense,
No, yeah,
especially
yeah.
when it comes to your calendar, right? Because
Mhm.
if you just try to shove everything in there and then, like you said, you're trying to find like the open spaces and there's no open spaces and somebody tries to book and you're booked out for the next 3 years,
Mhm.
like it could just be a lot of chaos. But I really like that idea of using Google Tasks though, since those
Mhm.
can pop up on your calendar. So
And then yeah, and then
that's
I
good.
will like I said, I had the mobile widget or yeah, it's a widget on my phone and the mobile app. And then that allows a really easy place to brain dump, and then I can move it into my project management system, or I can move it to where it needs to go. But it just is like a good place to just put it all in there. And you can
Yeah.
actually it's on the sidebar in Google Tools as well. So you can take emails from Gmail and drag them over to Google Tasks on the sidebar, and it will create a task for that email. And then what's really cool about that, it'll actually link to the email that it's associated with. So sometimes I will put really important emails that I need to respond to in my tasks. And then when I'm ready to go complete it, all I have to do is click the email, and then it'll send me right to it.
You are teaching me so many things. This is great. I
That's
think I
awesome.
need to have you come to a training for
Yeah.
my Simple Business School
I would love to.
members.
Absolutely love to.
Yeah, because I want to learn more about this, and I know that it would be helpful for a lot of people. So that's just a side note. But no, this has been really cool. And again, remember the conversation that we're having now is using Google to save you money. And all of these different
Mhm.
things that she has talked about are ways that you can save time, keep everything in one place, and ultimately save money. So, as a reminder, you guys can get Adrienne's go to, which stands for Google Tools. I just learned
Yes.
dashboard inside of the Simple Sales Bundle. The bundle ends on August 20th at 11:59 p.m. Central. So we are live right now on August 18th at it's about 2:30 p.m. Central. So you
Okay.
only have about 2.5 days. Am I doing that math right? Something like that
Yes.
to
Yes. All
get
day
access.
Monday, all day Tuesday, and half a day today. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. So you have 2.5 days to get access to this bundle. Like I said, there's more than 50 resources in there. All of them are focused on sales, selling, making you more money. That's the whole purpose of this bundle. So if you are watching this live, you can go to simplesalesbundle.com. If you're watching this on Instagram, you can drop bundle and I'll make sure that you get the link to the bundle to grab it before it expires. But again, Adrienne, thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking about your product in the Simple Sales Bundle and just teaching us all of these fun things about Google. This is great.
Yeah. So happy to share the wisdom.
Yeah, this is awesome. All right. Thanks everybody
Yeah.
who was hanging out with us here live. If you're listening to this as a replay or on the podcast, thanks. We'll
Okay.
see you guys later.
Bye.